Hello, British literature scholars, and welcome to the second week of the summer semester. Hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day and that you remembered those who have sacrificed everything so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy now, and that you are ready to move forward throughout this semester. So we're in the middle of Frankenstein, and I now have the reading quiz up and running, so you can take that. It's 20 questions. They're all short answer. I didn't give you multiple choice, so you're going to have to know the answers to these. Some of them are pretty obvious if you've read the actual book. So take that and then write that paper and get it in by June the 7th, which is not this week, but next week, which is next Friday. Next Wednesday, my mistake. Now, on your schedule, I'm aware that it says a hard times essay is due on Wednesday, June the 7th. That's a misprint on my part. You're not even going to be allowed into the hard times assignment until June the 8th. So it would be impossible for you to write that essay. Plus, you don't know what questions to answer anyway. So what I meant to say there is the Frankenstein essay is due on June the 7th. Remember, I've got a video lecture for you. I've also got a PowerPoint slideshow. In fact, those two should be used in conjunction with one another. I would not recommend going somewhere like Cliff's Notes or Spark Notes or Wikipedia or anything like that. What happens when you go to those websites is you end up plagiarizing. And once you plagiarize, I have very low tolerance for that. In fact, I have zero tolerance for that. So make sure that you don't do that. So answer these questions on your own based upon your own observations. There's not really one right answer. Sometimes your observations are just as good as somebody else's observations, even if they're a little different. So make sure that you do your own writing. Don't go to a website and look anything up. In fact, I highly encourage you not to go anywhere other than the slideshow, the lecture, and then the actual book itself. Do notice that I expect direct quotes from the book, so don't just give me a story summary. Answer the questions. Whatever question you choose to answer, say like Frankenstein is a book about how man should not be playing God. Answer that question. Don't just say, well, it opens up with a boat captain and then it goes, Frankenstein gets rescued from a dog sled and he's near death and he tells this outrageous story and it opens up with him talking about his childhood and then he goes to university and then don't do that. That'll get you a failing grade. A literary paper should be an analysis of literary work. If you stick to answering the questions, then you will have no trouble doing the essay correctly. So keep hammering through Frankenstein. I've given you 2.5 weeks to finish it, so you should be able to. The reason that it took me a week to get the quiz in is that I also had to reread Frankenstein so that I remember what questions to answer. That may happen throughout the semester. I know it won't happen through hard times, but then again, you're not, because I'm working on hard times for my dissertation, so that quiz should be up and running the day that we open that up. But remember that it's not likely you're going to read anything in a single day anyway, except maybe for the importance of being earnest. That's why you have the shortest time period at the end of the semester to write your importance of being earnest paper, because it's a play. You can usually read that in a single sitting if you so desire. You can probably read it twice before you actually take the quiz if you so desire. Quiz is open book, so take notes as you read. Also, you can go back into a chapter, well, golly, what was that? And then you can go back in there and look. You shouldn't have to, because I've tried to make questions that are obvious to the people who have read it, but if you need to, you can. So, carry on with Frankenstein, and hope that you're enjoying it, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and ask.